Hey, what's up, friends? My name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. I thought the song was over there. I was wrong. That's okay. I'm about done flying. That was a ripsqueak at Rampage. Which ripsqueak was that? So those were bright yellow props. That means that they were the... I don't know which one that was. My guess would be 1404, 4500s, 4S850, DAL 3028 propellers. Those could have been Gemfan 3052 propellers. Either or. But yeah, that's what you guys were just watching. Welcome to Whoop Wednesday. This versus that. The ultimate freestyle tiny whoop versus the new challenger, the Hummingbird V4, with a couple of things thrown at it. So we're going to fly some batteries tonight to really get to the bottom of these two, and hopefully you guys can kind of see the differences. You know, I'm obviously going to talk you through it and give you my opinions, but I'm hoping that you can literally see in the flight footage, and you want to like kind of pay attention to tricks that I'm coming up short on, or if I keep crashing on the same thing. Like, for example, when I do the Ciotti loop, if I keep crashing over and over again, hitting the bottom of the hanging gate, that's a sign that potentially I could use more power, or just fly that rig more and get used to it, right? But more power is better, let's be honest. More power is more better, up to a point. But yeah, we're going to really compare these. This is not a very fair fight. Like, we've really stacked the deck against the Hummingbird, but I'm really impressed by how it flies, so let's give it the hardest possible competitor, which is really like the best possible flying tiny whoop I've been able to put together with mainly like off-the-shelf parts. This is, the base of this is the Happymodel Mobula 6 ELRS. I've switched the frame that it comes with is very lightweight, but also very fragile, so it just breaks immediately. I've moved it over to a Beta FPV Meteor 65 frame, the regular one, not the Air. I have 3 Meteor 65 airframes coming from tinywhoop.com. They'll be here on Friday. So on Friday's live stream, we're going to put one of those frames on the Hummingbird. We're also going to put one of those frames, not on this rig, maybe on this rig, definitely on the other Ultimate Freestyle Tiny Whoop, on the Tiny Whoop motors. This is the one on the Weebleed FPV 0702 32,500 kV motors. So yeah, the deck is stacked. They're both on the Gemfan biblades. This has higher kV motors, and it's got a slightly lighter frame, I believe. Although the AIO on this rig is going to be heavier, but the canopy and camera on here are also lighter versus the Goober canopy. So yeah, like I said, not a fair fight, but if the Hummingbird with just a plug and play motor swap and BT 2.0 soldered on can come anywhere near this thing, that's absurd, because I guess the builds of these two things are pretty straightforward. The motors are plug and play on both of these. Both of them need the BT 2.0 lead soldered on. This also has the frame swap, right? This is still on the frame that it comes with, which is pretty cool. This is on the camera and canopy that it comes with. This also has a TrueRC singularity antenna buried up in there. You can kind of see it. This just has the regular whip antenna. Although, I do have an extra singularity. Will it fit in there? Nah, it doesn't look like it'll fit inside the Goober canopy. I think you guys were saying that the reception with this was pretty good when I was 2 stories up. Well, you know what? We'll leave the singularity antenna off for now. And one of the things that you'll get to see is CP antenna versus whip antenna. So yeah, that'll kind of be cool. Unfortunately, we're also comparing this built-in VTX to this built-in VTX, so if Newbie Drone did a better job with their VTX, that's going to help the whip antenna out. But they're both on 25 milliwatts, so yeah, this should be fun. I'm looking forward to doing this. First things first. So and this is the brand new Newbie Drone Hummingbird with Newbie Drone's 0702 29,000 kV motors swapped onto it, plug and play, and a BT 2.0 connector soldered on. So very, very, very lightly upgraded. Although, I mean, you could say the same thing about this, right? All we're doing is soldering the battery lead on. Like, these are, technically speaking, very lightly upgraded rigs. It's just this one took me a million different iterations to land on. Whereas this one was just get the $90 Hummingbird out of the box, swap on a $40 set of motors, probably, solder up the BT 2.0, and away you go. This thing also involves a frame swap, and then we've got the TrueRC antenna, but we don't have to have that antenna in there. But yeah, I just happened to try a lot of... There's a lot more motors available for this, and so, of course, I had to try them all. And in the end, we just ended up with the lightest weight, highest kV motors, so... but, you know, a labor of love, that's all. In the chat... Who is first? Mr. Dr. Death was first. Hockey Rounds was next. Troy Prelog. Bob Bruce. Matt Trombley. CMYK FPV. Captain Kazi. Flush FPV Northern Tier. Douglas Otwell. Kevin Sumner. Anonymous. FP Avery. Glenn Burnett. FL Engineer. Bitterroot. Kevin Sumner. FP Avery again. Gusto FPV. Paulie Shortcuts. Low Roll and Groove. What's up, friends? Thanks for coming. Yeah. There's a bunch of batteries on the charger over here. I'm going to be swapping them out because I do want to fly a bunch of batteries on each of these to really... Like, I want to do 3 batteries on one and then swap over and do 3 batteries on the other. I'm hoping that'll give me enough time to get used to each one to make it a little bit easier when I'm, like, comparing the two of them. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2... 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is the number of batteries that we want to do. So we're basically gonna run 12 batteries tonight, I think. so that we do A, B, A, B. And yeah, I'm sure that I'll be able to tell a difference in power. The Weebleed 702 32,500 kV motors are almost certainly going to make more power. We can take a look at that actually in Betaflight, and I plan to. We're going to go into Betaflight. We're going to ramp a couple of motors up individually, and we're going to look at what the RPM goes to. These guys are both on the exact same propellers, and we're going to put the same batteries through them, so it's a somewhat fair test. And what we're going to see is the Weebleed FPV batteries are just going to crank up to a higher RPM. I'm interested how much higher, though, because I have no idea who makes these little newbie drone motors, but they've got ball bearings in them, so they should be they should have a little bit less friction. In theory, as long as the ball bearings can take the RPM that this is going to be turning. And yeah, I don't know. There's a chance that the newbie drone 0702s use more powerful magnets or have a tighter air gap or any number of things that could make them, once they're loaded down, spinning a propeller, they could very well make the same, if not more, RPM than the motors made by Happymodel. There are, the kV of the motor is an unloaded measurement. There's no prop on it. So you can make an 0702 that spins 11 billion kV, but then when you load it with a propeller, it could potentially make less power than a motor that's making only 10 billion. That's wound for only 10 billion kV. So yeah, there's a lot of different things that make... there's a lot of different things that contribute to the amount of power that a motor will make and can make. It's not just the kV, it's not just the stator size. Those two things are certainly the most important, and they have the most impact, but there are a dozen other things that together make a pretty big impact as well. I've got the microphone in a different location. I got a little bit of feedback from the last couple of streams when I had the mic here, that when I would roll over here to the workbench, you guys would have to turn the volume up. Basically, there was such a drastic difference in the volume level. So I've moved the mic over here. It is in between. So monitor, camera, monitor, mic, workbench. So yeah, it's right in between. It is a directional mic, and it's pointed at my big dumb face right now. So when I'm over there, my mouth is actually going to be closer to it, but it's not going to be pointing directly at me. If we can't get this figured out, I'm just going to buy an arm. The only problem is where the hell I'm going to put the arm. I don't know. I don't know if I can put it here, because I don't know if it'll reach up over the monitor, and then I'll grab it and move it when I go. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll keep dialing things in as we do. If you want to talk directly to me in the chat over here, all you got to do is type CiottiFPV. When you do that, it lights up in orange for me so that to get my attention, basically. You can do that with each other as well. If you type somebody's name in, you spell it right and get the spaces in the right position, for them, it'll light up in orange. Mr. Dr. Death tagged me and said, "Hey, CiottiFPV and gang, hope you're feeling better tonight." I'm almost there, man. I'm still kind of snotty and coughy, but I'm almost to the point where I don't cough all the time or snot all over the place constantly. It's close. Bob Bruce says, how's everybody doing today? Stay safe. Just came down with COVID again. Guess it's coming back. Oh, it sucks, dude. There's a chance what I had was actually the coronavirus. CMYK says, yo, what's up, gangly gang? FP Avery says, do you think the electronics in the Hummingbird will be reasonably durable? Your last few streams has me thinking about getting one. There is unfortunately just no way of telling that other than to bash the living shit out of it. That's why I want to just get this thing up in the air tonight. We're actually going to do, what we'll do is A, B, A, B, A, and this will be A. So we will put 3, 6, 9. We'll put 9 batteries through this tonight. Maybe I'll start trying to do 9 batteries a night, or at least 6 batteries a night through this thing to really put some stress into it. My guess would be yes. My guess is that yes, it can handle it, because newbie drone cares and they make good stuff, and they know that things need to be durable. So my guess would be that yes, this is going to be durable, but you know, unfortunately, with a sample size of 1, which is what I have here, it's really tough. Like if it holds up, that's a really good sign. If it breaks, it's really tough because it could be the 1 in 100 that just does that. I can't fly 100 batteries a night to test 10 of the damn things. We have to kind of all do that together. So the more of you spend the $90 on this and bounce it off the walls every single night as much as you can, the more we'll know about that. I am really intrigued by by this AIO because it seems it's lighter than the Mobula 6 AIO, and so if it's durable, the only pain in the ass about it is that it's got the you would have to direct solder motors to it because they use the well, not necessarily. You could just buy these smaller plugs and solder them onto any set of motors, and then you could have a set of plug and play motors. But I worry that these smaller plugs are adding a little bit of resistance. So if I switch an ultimate rig over to this Hummingbird AIO, I will be direct soldering the motors. Newbie Drone put nicely sized, nicely spaced pads on the top of this AIO. So yeah. All that being said, I doubt that I'll switch over to this AIO, mainly because it doesn't have because of the OSD issue. One of the things that we're going to see tonight is the difference in video quality of the Newbie Drone stuff with their proprietary OSD chip versus the old school gigantic rectangular OSD chip. So yeah, unfortunately for me, that'll sort of be the nail in the coffin, more than likely, of the Hummingbird, for it not to be like the main AIO that I suggest, even though it is going to be lighter and it could be better quality. But yeah, I mean, analog is muddy enough. Yeah, you'll see what I mean in a little bit here. So let's get caught up on chat, and then I'm just going to get up in the air because it's going to take me a while to fly 15 batteries. Kevin Sumner says, did you see the new HD0 VTX 1 watt output in the same size as a Vista? I heard Joshua talking about it yesterday. Super exciting. HD0 is very interesting. As a straight replacement for analog, HD0 is really cool. But what HD0 won't do is give, in my opinion, is give you good enough quality footage from a micro. Mainly because of the way that it breaks up, like that crazy rainbow shit. Like, that's a mess. For me, I am now fully on the Walksnail train. I'm just so impressed by Walksnail as an FPV camera and also as an HD camera. It doesn't do either one of those things. It's not as good of an FPV camera as HD0 because it's got more latency. But it is a way better HD camera than HD0, and what that leaves you with is one video system that you can use on all your stuff. You can put it in your 5-inch rigs that are carrying GoPros, and it's a better FPV camera than the Vistas. You can put it in your 3-inch rigs and have it be an HD camera. Christ, you can even put it in your Tiny Whoops. Being able to put it in your Tiny Whoops is the nail in the coffin of the Vistas, if we're being real here. I'm not going to move all my stuff over. Like, I can't necessarily afford to buy a whole bunch of Walksnail VTXs. And there's really kind of no reason to. Like, the Vistas work totally fine. The Walksnail system is a little bit better, but it's not like night and day. Like, you're not going to fly better on the Walksnail system versus a Vista. but I'll never buy a Vista again, kind of thing, right? Other than maybe, well, yeah, I literally won't. I will not buy any more. And as I get more Walksnail VTXs, I will replace the Vistas, and then I'll have extra Vistas, right? So I will more than likely still have these live streaming rigs on the Vistas maybe forever. I just don't see these companies moving to the O3 system. They just don't need the 1080. And the O3 system is just, I don't know. It'll move over eventually for sure, but I don't think it'll move over that fast. So yeah, if you want one video system to rule them all, I really do think it's Walksnail. And I 6 months ago, I would never have thought that would be I would never have thought that'd be coming out of my mouth. So it's interesting. But they've really impressed me. They've really impressed me. Kevin Sumner says weight scale thrust stand 2. I'm going to substitute the RPM measurement for the thrust stand, the janky little thrust stand setup, because they're on the same propeller. If you've got motors, if you put a bunch of motors on the same propeller and you look at the RPM that they're willing to spin to, I think that's actually a better way of measuring their thrust output than my ridiculous little upside down tiny whoop on a scale method. Because if they have the kV or stator volume or additional magnetic field or whatever it is, like if the motor is making more power, it will turn that propeller to a higher RPM. One motor, that's when there's two motors you're comparing that are different KVs. Sure, if the lower KV motor doesn't turn as high of an RPM, it's making less power. Of course it is on one hand, but at the same time, like, that's what we want to know. Like, we want to know which one's making more power. We don't care if see what I'm saying? For some reason, it's hard to put that into words right now. But yeah, the RPM will tell us the thrust in a little bit more detail, in my opinion, than the little super crazy setup that I had. Mo FPV says, "What's up, man? What's up, y'all?" Pauly Shortcut says, "Did dudes do the disarm death dive Discord challenge?" I didn't see anybody do it. Anybody that knows what I'm talking about, if you did it, let me know in the chat. Tag me. Dr. Death says, "Glad to hear." Pauly Shortcuts with $1 super chat. Thank you, brother. Much appreciated. He says, "Healthcare." Let's get it in there. 777. A fellow obsessive compulsive. Welcome. Valtree says, "Do you mostly leave the plugs on your builds?" I do. I find the ease of replacing the motors when they have the plugs on them to outweigh the fraction of a gram that you save removing the plugs. I think it's like 0.2 of a gram that you save by removing the plugs. And I just think it's ridiculous to have to solder those motors down to the AIO. What happens for me so in that scenario where you have to deal with soldering the motors down, if you've got a motor that's starting to die, you will run that motor into the dirt. I will run that motor absolutely into the dirt way longer than I should because of what a pain in the ass it's going to be to swap it out. When the motors are on plugs, if a motor starts acting up, I take it off and throw it in the garbage and replace it. Just like that, because it's 3 screws and a plug, and it's like, I don't care. It's $10, 3 screws and a plug, less than $10. So it's just good to go. Do it. And I've never seen a noticeable difference in performance between the plugs and soldering the motors down. Is there? I don't know. I think the racers say that there is. And they're a good judge because they can they can tell by like runtime. They run the same course. over and over and over again, and then they make the change and they run the same course again. And if they get a little bit more runtime, great. But you know, it's performance and runtime are not everything. Like, you have to live with these things, and just, you know, be realistic with yourself. If you're more disciplined than I am, and when a motor starts to get banged up that you've soldered down, you can justify immediately desoldering it and soldering a new one on. I love that for you. Like, that's a better bet. That's just not me. So, you know, got to know yourself in life. All right, yo. Let's start flying. I forgot to plug the goggle battery in. That's going to bite me in the ass, almost certainly. Let's do this. I'm going to put another goggle battery on the charger right now, so that when, not if, the Fat Shark goggle battery goes dead and starts beeping, instead of just getting super angry and screaming a lot like I usually do, I will just replace it. And then you guys won't have to sit there like, yo, this dude is an actual crazy person. What is his deal? I might even have one that's charged. Nope, not charged. All right, here I come, coming back. Ah! Ah! Okay, actually coming back now. All right, yo, let's get up in the air and start comparing. First, we're gonna put the Hummingbird up in the air. I'll get kind of a feel for it, and we'll smash it around a little bit, put some, do some durability testing with it, and then we'll move over to the Happymodel, and we'll see what's what. Cool. Does the mic sound any different being over here? J-Spin, make sure you type at CiottiFPV. As a YouTuber, what's up with the live chat has moved thing? I have no idea. I don't know what that is. And I don't really consider myself a YouTuber, to be honest. Like, I'm as a YouTuber, I'm the worst YouTuber ever. I'm gonna fly the most beat up batteries first here, just because I'm gonna be getting warmed up. But yeah, I don't like pay attention to the YouTube things. I just click start streaming and just focus on, like, you know, the words coming out of my mouth and the movements coming out of my fingers being as good as possible, rather than, I just don't care that much about YouTube. You know, like this like Mr. Beast generation of people that, like, care about the algorithm and how YouTube works and all this stuff. That ain't me. And, like, it should be, because this is where I make the majority of my living, but I don't know. I choose to focus on the content itself rather than marketing myself, which is never the greatest idea. When you're going to run a business, you got to really pay attention to marketing. So I'm definitely doing it wrong, but hey, leave me alone. This is the Hummingbird V4 on Newbie Drone's most powerful motors, which are the most powerful, lightest weight motors, which are the 0702, 29,000 kV. I don't know if there's a name for these motors. If they're just the 702s. Ah. Low battery already. What? I think it's talking about on the transmitter itself. Easy, easy. I took my finger off the stick. Ah. Woo. So this rig also does not have. Oh my god. This does not have crash recovery turned on. So you're gonna notice this rig crashes a little bit differently, which is kind of cool. It's kind of a cool comparison between these two. Crash recovery versus no crash recovery. Maybe this will help me decide whether I want to keep it on or not. I've been thinking about I've been thinking about turning it off. I took my finger off to flip the switch to get the OSD on. I'm gonna put this into the Betaflight, and I'm gonna fix the OSD, because if I have the OSD off like that, I need the warnings to pop up, and this will give me a chance to show you beautiful people what I do in there. Oh yeah, the battery on the QX7 is very, 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 very dead right now. Yeah, I want to show you guys how easy it is to have a clean OSD that will pop up a low battery warning when your battery's getting low. 7.49, which is 3.78 per cell. That's not enough. I hope I have another one of these. I should. What the hell? Woo. Oh, God. What? Where's the other... Tell me I have another transmitter battery. Come on now. There's one in here. There's got to be one in here. Is it one of those old janky ones? No! It's a good... Oh, I wondered where this... I've been wondering where this battery's been. That makes sense. Alright, cool. Robbing batteries out of one for the other. What's new? So yeah, this will be, I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to really testing these against each other. I have a feeling, I mean, like I said, it's a pretty stacked deck, but I don't know. I'm also kind of hoping that I can feel a difference in the tune. I'm really curious. The tune that came on the Hummingbird is really weird, and I'm just super curious as to what all of that authority on the pitch axis, but not on the roll axis, is doing. If anything, it could. We have a lot of variables going in here, so it might be too many things at once to tell a difference. But I don't know. Maybe we can learn some things. Brandon's Baked Beans was actually also commenting on how weird the tune is over on the Discord channel. Valtree with a 5 squiggly, maybe it's pounds, super chat says thanks for the answer. Time will tell how I can handle soldering / plugging. Have fun flying. Thank you so much, Valtree. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Okay. We are gonna dive into Betaflight real quick here, and I'm just gonna move my OSD from one to the other. So this is me plugging in the Mobula 6 based rig, and I'm gonna come down here to the CLI, and I'm gonna type diff, D-I-F-F, and this is gonna show me all of the things that are different from the default. And down towards the bottom, there are a whole bunch of items that say set OSD. And I'm just going to copy all of those. So I'm going to go from here all the way down to the end of the set OSD items. And then I'm just going to hit copy. And that's really all I want. We're also testing props in versus props out. Yeah, see, there are so many things different between these two rigs. It's kind of tough, but it's fine. It's fine. Maybe I can pinpoint each individual one of them. No, I won't be able to. All right, plug it in the Hummingbird. So now we're going to go into the CLI of the Hummingbird, and we're just going to paste those. Farts. These red items are basically, so the other rig is on Betaflight 4.3. This one is on 4.4. So they've changed the name of a bunch of different things here in the OSD. But it looks like it's all after flight stats. Yeah, set OSD underscore stat. So that's fine. That's totally fine. Now we're going to type save. And so now the OSD that I'm used to has been copied over to the Hummingbird. But the problem is it doesn't turn off the other elements that they've turned on. So you got to go in and any of the, like, fly mode, I don't want to see that. Timer 2, I don't want to see that. VTX channel, I don't want to see that. All right, so now we're good. Now it's got my OSD on it, so we're going to hit save here. And so if you want to do this clean OSD thing, you've got to use those 3 different OSD profiles. And what you basically want to do is what I'm showing you here. You want to turn the majority of your OSD onto 2 switch positions. And then the third switch position, you want only the warnings down at the bottom here. So for the warnings, you're going to turn all 3 OSD positions on. So OSD profile number 3 only has warnings. OSD profiles 1 and 2 have everything else, all of your normal OSD stuff that you like. And then you need a way of switching between those OSD profiles, and that's here in adjustments. So you go into adjustments, you turn this on, you pick whatever switch you want. In my case, it's aux2. You open the range all the way up. aux2 for me is a 3-position switch, so we're going to have 1, 2, and 3, which is going to correspond with OSD profile 1, 2, and 3. Then apply over here is OSD profile right there. And then via channel, same channel, aux2. And now you've got a switch on your transmitter. In my case, it's a 3-position switch that can adjust the OSD profile. And now you hit save. And I have that switch doing 2 jobs at once. That's also the switch for horizon versus angle mode. I think that the transmitter battery I put in is now low. So there you go. There's how you get a clean OSD, but you still get warnings. So that, like, if you're recording DVR, you don't have all the ugly OSD elements on it. You can just fly in peace. All right. Another battery now with proper on-screen display. And warnings for when the battery gets low. Hockey Round says YouTube did the thing. Polly Shortcut says RunCam split 3 or RunCam thumb. 2 gram difference for tiny lifter, 1080/60 on both. No Walksnail goggles, both similar pricing. The RunCam split 3 is going to force you to fly through the garbage FPV. So I would stay away from that. These split cameras make sacrifices, and yeah, it's no good. All right, let's get into it here. So weird. See what's happening upstairs. There's a doggo out here. There is a little doggy! Hello, little doggy! Do not eat me! Where is he? Run his little ass. Get him all tired out. Oh no, now he's barking at it. Yeah, I really cannot crash this up here if he's going to be this interested in it. So let's bring it on back downstairs. Ah! I didn't put the nose down enough. So, really decent power. Not quite as much power as I want. Look at those LEDs shining on the ground there. Isn't that cool? That's fun. Oh, that's a fun game, man. Can I fly low enough to the ground to constantly see the LEDs? Okay, so I want to get the one of the reasons that I was reminded to just change the OSD is I want to put the I want to get my throttle expo dialed in perfectly. So I'm going to right on the right side of my OSD, 42, 37, 43, 35, 36, 37, 40, 38, 38. That is the throttle position. And that's what you need to set your midpoint for the throttle expo at. So it's looking like my like normal kind of nose down, flying kind of fast hover point is right around 40. Oh boy. I gotta be honest, man. This thing crashes really well with crash recovery not turned on. So yeah, you can do it in the OSD actually. You just kind of come in here to profile, you scroll down to rate, you go up to get to the bottom of the rates, and then you want throttle midpoint. We're going to move that down to 40, like we just talked about. And then the throttle expo is the amount of expo. I tend to run quite a bit. I'm going to do 30. On the other rigs, I actually do 40, but this has a little bit less kV. Oh boy, that feels so nice. Okay, easy, big fella. I've been getting away with not running throttle expo on this. That was weird. I don't know what happened there. It just fell out of the air. I've been getting away with running no throttle expo on this rig because it has a little bit less power. And that, like, gives you sort of natural throttle expo. Ah! This battery is getting saggy. Why is it not... Why am I not getting a warning? Oh, I think it has to do with the OSD glitch. Look at the OSD glitching right now. That's interesting. We'll see on the next battery if that happens again. I gotta put this under the charger because it over discharges the balls out of it. I need to get this thing back up. Oh no, it didn't. 3.78. No, we good. Okay. All right. So one more battery here, and Michael D says, have you seen the Beta FPV 1102 22,000 kV motors? Do you know if they're any good? If they're anything like their previous generation of 1102s, I would stay away from them. The previous gen 1102, which I have a bunch of in 18,000 kV, these ones here, this is what they look like. These were extremely fragile. The motor shafts, even though they're 1.5 millimeters, were horrendously fragile. This is actually the 1103, but the 1102 looks just like this. If it's this new generation with the red anodization, I'm personally still going to stay away from them. I just don't trust them. But maybe they fix that issue. Hopefully they fix that issue. So here, these are the ones that I assume you're talking about, 1102, 22,000 kV. I would still rather have the Flywoo 1002 23,500 kV motor. This is too much stator volume and not enough kV, in my opinion. So yeah, I would stay away from these. The only motors in here that I would run would be these 14,000 kVs on 2S. 14,000 kV seems to be the right number for 2S. So of these Beta FPV 1102s, yeah, the 14s are the only ones that I would run, because these 18,000s are too low of a kV for 1S and too high of a kV for 2S, and then these 22,000 kVs are the same kind of thing, not quite enough kV for 1S. So that's my opinion on those. Flesh FPV says, can you use a toggle switch? You can, yep. You don't have to use a 3-position switch. You can use a 2-position. You're just going to only get 2 profile selection points, 1 and 2. Michael D says, thank you so much for teaching us how to set up the OSD profile on a Switch. I've been using my Mobula 8 1S build since I learned it from your stream a couple months ago. You're certainly welcome, my friend. Weebly FPV is in the house. What's up, homie? Zotek is in the virtual building. All right, one more Hummingbird battery, and then we're going to put some Weebly FPV motors up in the air. And you're going to see some fire. Let's play that little fly low to the ground game again. That was very fun. And now that I've got the throttle expo set, it's gonna be a lot easier. Oh, you know what though? When I turn the OSD off, I have that LED low mode on, so it's actually not running the LEDs right now. I have to turn the OSD back on because I set that LED low mode in there. I wasn't looking where I was going. I was looking at the ground. Ah! Oh yeah, yeah, I like it. Whoa. I love flying under there. It's really tight. That is obviously what she said. No. Get. Ah! Ah! Okay. Easy, big fella. Man, just getting eaten up. Yeah, so if you slowly push the stick into turtle mode, it fixes that weird behavior. You just gotta take a breath for a second. I did not get good battery life on this battery for some reason. We're a minute. Oh, that is unrecoverable. Perfectly in between the cushions. Yo, this thing looks so cool with these fucking LEDs, for real. Like, it's hard to see it because I got these big bright studio lights on, but look how cool this thing looks. This is just the default OSD setup. But like, this is what I saw on the couch a minute ago. Isn't that slick? Just cool looking, man. And you can, of course, do your own crazy LED stuff with it. It's got 4 addressable LEDs that shine right on the frame. It's just super cool. This battery's probably about dead. Skinny, hairy legs in the house. We got a little bit more runtime there, minute 43. This is probably one of the red Yep, this is one of the red batteries. So this is just a whooped ass battery. But I Stevie Wondered that, didn't I? I just wanted to get warmed up a little bit there, so, yeah. Okay, so, now we're going to dive into the fully upgraded, full tilt, banana pants on acid rig that you guys have seen a million times, but, you know, when we're doing these comparisons, it's really important to have your control and not just like, oh, I remember the way it is, or like I know what that other rig feels like. And it also helps me show you, beautiful people, what the difference is. So now we're on a different camera, different VTX, lot of different things going. Oh, and now I have to switch. So in between each one of these, I have to switch modules because we're going from SPI based ELRS 2.5 to whatever the Hummingbird has. What's the Hummingbird? Is the Hummingbird UART or SPI based? Anybody know? Somebody in chat will know. There we go. All right, let's do it. Yeah, okay. So you can hear this one spin up higher. Ready? Here, I mean, you can obviously see it, but again, this is ooh, Jesus. Hope I didn't scratch it. Yeah, this is what 3,000 more kV will get you. More RPM. Got out of there. Wow, what an adjustment. Oh boy. So now when I crash, you're gonna get to see what crash recovery does. Because I have crash recovery on this rig. In fairness, I'm used to this rig. I've flown hundreds, if not thousands, of batteries on this rig. That's not a bad thing, though. Like, again, it's important to have a control. And this is our control. So, and this is the best flying rig that I've been able to build, right? So it's the perfect control because everything else is going to have a tough time competing. And that's kind of what we want. I'm wondering if there's a... I mean, the cameras being different... There's definitely a difference in field of view. This camera is basically not quite as wide of a field of view as the Newbie Drone BI. And then this OSD is the standard Betaflight OSD, so with a standard chip, so we don't have any flickering or anything like that. But there's a weight penalty involved. One of the reasons that the Humming Bee is lighter weight is that it's using Newbie Drone's proprietary little custom hex OSD builds that uses a much smaller chip to handle the OSD, but it comes with a little bit of a sacrifice. Woo! Whoa! Hey! Whoa! Okay, easy, big fella. Oh, come on now. Ah! And I'm rusty on the. Okay, now we're just pinballing into everything. I am rusty with that dive tunnel. I've not been using it much, and it shows. What? What did I hit there? What was that? Oh! Yeah, that ain't coming out of there. Woo! Okay. Sometimes I won't fly this rig in a while, and then the first battery back, I'm just like, oh, okay, this is outrageous. So again, this is on the Weebleed FPV 0702 32,500 kV motors. They are mega, and they just perform so well. And like, look at the runtime that we're getting too, right? We're up at like, oh god. Look at the runtime the man says as the battery hits 2.7 volts. Speaking of ruining batteries, that one's pretty much on fire. Sorry, little battery. My bad. My bad. It's all hot and shit, too. Oh, man. It was 2.9 when I plugged it in. That's not great. You guys can see the difference, I'm sure, right? Hockey Round says, do you plan on flashing the ESCs on the V3? I do plan on backdating it if I can find the right processor model number on 0.16. But from what I understand, the Hummingbird comes with BlueJ 2.0 on it. I've not had luck with BlueJ 2.0 on anything that was having the weird problems. I mean, the thing is, though, that the Hummingbird doesn't have the falling out of the sky problems that some of the other AIOs do when you put them on that new firmware. So there's kind of no reason to backdate it. You know, there's like nothing to fix. Whoa. This tune is on the limit. There was just a little moment of oscillation there. Wow. My God. Having all this power is like sometimes is like a get out of jail free card. Like I was dropping elevation headed right towards the cymbals, and I just blipped the throttle, and it's got so much jam that it just instantly got out of its own way. I hit that hard. That fucker got out of the way for me. Oh, shit. Oh! Oh my god, it's so hard to do that. It's so cool looking. Uh-oh. So, I'm upside down. Oh my god. That was wild. Oh, shit. Ah! That's twice. Man, these newbie drone gates are tough, but ooh, are they fun. Come on now. Get out of there. Get out of there. I'm behind the door. No, 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 I don't want to be behind the door. Uh-oh. This is not good. Oh, God, I'm going to have a seizure at times 10. I'm going to have to put a blinking lights warning on this stream. My hair's getting long. Yeah, I need a haircut. See how quick I can turtle mode this thing? That's what I'm used to being able to do. Just... Whoop. Rejected. Oh, I got it again. Didn't get it that time. Nope, missed it. It almost looked like I got it, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. No, no, no. Let me go. Oh, so close. I'm not going to take that back off because it will blow everything everywhere. All right, getting towards the end of this battery. Oh, that was dumb. That was real dumb. I'm tangled up in the sim rig now. Nope. Oh, man, I'm having to take a bunch of walks of shame tonight. That's okay. It's just across the room. It's not across the damn field or anything like that. We're gonna be alright. Alright, so I'm really, at this point, I'm just getting used to this again. This is the third battery, I think. So now when I jump back onto the Hummingbird, I'm going to be much better dialed in, which is kind of cool. And so, yeah, hopefully I'll be able to talk to you guys more about. And I'm most interested about this, like, the extra PIDs on pitch. That's what I was just trying to do. I'm just trying to, like... This feels very natural on pitch versus roll. I want to see if the Hummingbird, like, feels different on pitch versus roll. So, there you go. There's the super hopped up Chaos rig. Now we're going to swap back on over to the Hummingbird, and let's see how it does. We're going to use an absolutely fresh, brand new battery that's only been discharged like one single time. This is going to be like the most power that this thing ever has. Back to the Hummingbird V4 upgraded with Newbie Drone's 0702 29,000 kV motors, BT 2.0 plug, Weebleed FPV, 300 mAh BT 2.0 batteries, and folded cell batteries, and Gem Fan bi-blades. Other than that, it's completely stock. I've done a couple little tiny things to the tune. I turned PID sum all the way up. Very subtle things, but we're pretty close to the stock tune. I actually had to back the tune off a little bit when I put the higher kV, more powerful motors on. Higher kV, lower weight motors, I should say. All right. Come on. Bind up, you little devil. There we go. All right, it was in... I was like, wow, it's super different. It was in horizon mode. Okay. You know, it doesn't feel as different as I thought it would. It's exactly what you'd expect. It feels a little bit heavier, and it feels like it has a little bit less power. I mean... I can tell a difference in the camera. The details are sharper on the other camera. I can see farther ahead with the other camera. Like with this camera, I'm like, so the Weebleed gate, right? It's just a blur, 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 blur. Now I can kind of see it. Oh, balls. I was going for the mega power loop. Oh, no. Whoa, God. What else can I say? Ooh, it got real unhappy there. Whoa, what's happening here? So, it's having a hard time maintaining its, maintaining yaw. Oh, you know what it is? There's a vent over here. It was in the downdraft of this vent. It was like, yeah, I can hear it. But, see how it can't hold its position on yaw when I'm doing those throttle pumps? That's because of how low... That's because of how low the P gain is on yaw. We will boost the yaw P gain to try to fix that up. Still trying to feel any difference between pitch and roll here. No, I really can't. This rig feels a little softer, more than likely because it's a little heavier. Speaking of weights, let's get weights on these two. So the Hummingbird with the lighter weight motors and the lighter weight propellers, it comes with tri-blades. And it probably saved a little bit of weight from the BT 2.0 lead because I shortened up the battery lead. 20.5 grams, 20.5 grams. The upgraded Mobula 6 ELRS, wow, these things are close in weight. 19.7 grams. So they're they're less than a gram off from one another. Part of the reason is that this guy has the singularity antenna that adds like roughly a half a gram, I believe, but the video quality is a lot better. Can you guys tell a difference between the VTXs? Is one of them doing better in terms of static than the other? Let's keep abusing this. All right, I got 4 more batteries coming off here. 3, 4, and these 2 are still charged. So I've got 2 more batteries on this, and then 3, and then 3 more. So I need to get 2 more batteries on the charger. And that'll cover us on the next couple rounds. All right, another battery right in. Let's just keep crashing it, keep trying to get in touch with what on earth it is different about it. Hopefully I didn't Stevie Wonder that last battery. So yeah, I mean, this thing is now like, it's been on my rates, but it's got my Throttle Expo in it. The only thing that's different about this is, in terms of Betaflight, is it doesn't have crash recovery turned on. Yeah, see how I'm coming up low on everything? I had just gotten used to that other rig. All right, let's add some yaw P gain. Profile, and then we're just gonna go straight into PIDs here. And here we go. So yaw F, yaw D, yaw P gain. So let's go from 38 up to what's 38 times 2? 60, 76. All right, so we're gonna double the yaw P gain, and we're gonna take the yaw I gain up to 80, which is not a significant enough change, but I at least just want to move it. Let's see how that does. We're gonna come here in the downdraft of this. See how it's still losing the horizon, or it's still losing itself on yaw. Let's put even more. Let's put even more yaw P gain into it. PIDs, yaw P. Let's go up to, what was that? It was at 38. Let's go up to 138. And then on the I gain, let's go up to 120. Come on. Ah, I left it at 119. I'm gonna leave it. It's fine. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There it goes. That was odd. Alright, let's try it again here. Now all of a sudden the yaw is significantly more snappy, which makes sense. That's what P gain does. Much better. Can you guys see the difference? I think it's still my God, look how much sharper the yaw is now. Oh, got him. Oh, God. I closed my eyes for that one. Didn't quite have enough power at the bottom of that little dive there to get out of it. Come on, there we go. That'll be off. Yep, there we go. Man, yeah, that really brought yaw alive. And there's no real negative effects to that. Ah! I expect the top of the throttle to give me a little bit more of a pop. And it just doesn't. It doesn't quite have it on this rig. It just doesn't quite have enough KV. We're going to do the little motor tab test in a minute. I almost forgot about that. We'll see what RPM each one of these rigs turns. What? What? How? I can almost always get it out of there. That's odd. Unplug this battery before it drives everyone completely insane. Okay. Okay! Okay! Oh my God, I over-discharged the shit out of this battery. Okay. Got another battery in there. Hummingbird, let's run the rest of this battery. Oh, it's already done. Okay. Okay, let's take this next fresh battery, and we're going to fire this and then the other rig up in Betaflight to see what kind of RPMs it's able to pull. So turn these off for a minute. Perfect timing. They just started beeping and being jackasses. So we'll spin each of the motors up and see, just to get a good average. But kind of already did this yesterday, so we sort of already know this rig is going to be in the 35,000 RPM range. Unless the motors have worked in a little bit, like there's a chance that the bearings have kind of worn themselves in and it could turn a little bit extra RPM right now. Or maybe this battery is a little bit fresher than the one from yesterday. So here we are, bidirectional's turned on. So we're gonna hit this button. I'm gonna zoom in for you so that you guys can see the RPM. Ready? One at a time so that we're not sagging the motor down. What just happened? Oh, there we go. So this is what you're looking at here. R shows the RPM. Ready? All right. Yeah. This ESC does not like it. It wants you to. Okay, something's happening. Why is it not? What the hell? Is that what? What's happening? Oh man, it's acting really weird. $64,000. Okay, wow. 64,000 again. 60,000. 60,000. So 64,000 and 60,000. This thing acts. There's some weirdness. You guys are getting to see some of the I don't know. I don't know what it's being weird sometimes. Confused. 64 and 60,000 kV, and now we're going to hook a rig up with the exact same propellers. So the load on the motors is exactly the same. Same stator size, but 32,500 kV instead of 29,000 kV. And bushings instead of bearings. Oops. That's not what I meant to do. Okay, so our target is 64,000 and 60,000. Let's see how these Weebleed FPV motors compare. 65,000, 64,900, so 65,000, 65,000 again, 64,900 again. So here is the problem with doing so. Going from 29,000 kV, what you could say after I just did that is, wow, going from 29,000 kV to 32,500 kV makes almost no difference, right? We had two of these motors at 64,000, and then we had all four of these at 65,000. That's not a big difference. But the problem with this method of testing, holding the rig steady, and ramping these motors up, is the same problem with all static motor dyno testing, which is that this is a loaded. This is a situation where the propeller is fully and the motor is fully loaded, in that it's being held still, so it has to do all of this work to grab air and then push the air away against static air. When we're flying them, that is not the case, because as soon as we stab the throttle, it starts moving, and it very quickly creates a bunch of inflow, air that is already moving, and the thrust is being mixed with the air that's going around it that's already moving, all right? So one of the things that I talked to Jesse about way back when, one of the reasons that he was resistant in going up to like 30,000 kV and beyond, is that during thrust testing, these 32,000 kV motors, for example, don't make any more power than the 30,000s. I think they don't even make more power than the 28,000s because of this reason, because it's a loaded thrust stand. The correct way of doing this testing would be to build a wind tunnel. It would be to have the quad in a wind tunnel, and the wind tunnel would somehow need to be connected to the throttle ramp, and we would need to figure out what the differential in airspeed is. So the wind tunnel would need to speed up and slow down as the amount of power being sent to the motors speeds up and slows down to mimic whatever the delta is in airspeed versus thrust speed. Hopefully that makes some semblance of sense. But yeah, that's a really interesting, great example of why you got to be careful using that. I was wondering if if the difference, I knew it was going to be a smaller difference. I didn't think it was going to be damn near no difference though. I'm kind of shocked that it was 65K versus 64K. That's pretty wild. All that being said, in the air, there is absolutely no question that and I think you can probably see it in the flight footage, that the Weebleed FPV motors are making significantly more power. These Newbie Drone 702s though are making really decent power. So I am noticing something about the roll axis. I want you guys to check out this. So I love to do this little 90-degree hit to do little wall rides. I want you to notice how soft it is on this rig. Uh-oh. No. Don't make me walk again, please. No. Oh, no. So this rig has very low values on roll for P gain. And I can literally feel it. I can feel it when I do that 90-degree snap. It is just not as poppy as what I want. It's a little bit softer. I don't hate that. But I also don't love it. I would rather have, you know, when it's too soft like this, it's always going to be soft. Like, you can't make it sharp. If you make it so it's a little bit sharper than you want it, you can fly. You can fly it smoother. You can make your thumbs do it smoother, or you can make your thumbs give you that extra little bit of sharpness. You could use that as an argument against... That's not great. You can use that as an argument against any sort of stick smoothing, to be honest. But some amount of stick smoothing really, I think, is necessary. Like, I just think we're all a little bit too jittery. Maybe not. Maybe you're a way better pilot. But yeah, I think that a little bit of stick smoothing helps everyone. This might be the battery that I over discharged yesterday. I might have like really hurt that battery. So yeah, look at the difference now on roll, on the explosiveness of roll. This rig that I'm about to put up in the air has a much higher value in roll P and D gain, but we're mainly talking about P gain here. All right, I got 2 more batteries in the charger. I got to switch modules again. I do have the ELRS modules set to the same parameters, same telemetry, same all that good stuff. Jeremiah Culp says, AliExpress has Mobula 6 with the 0702 26,000 kV motors. Do you still suggest replacing motors? If so, why? Buy that rig and fly it, and if the motors have enough power for you, then you don't have to replace them. If they don't, then you do. Personally, they don't. They're close, but no cigar. Stop! Why? The battery's fine, you dick! I hate you! Okay. I told you. Crazy person, man. Crazy person! Get in there. Come on now. Help me help you. There we are. Okay, here we go. Yeah, that's a totally personal question, Jeremiah. I can't answer that question. It's all about you, my man. But definitely buy that rig. Those 702 26,000s are awesome. Ramdongo says, can a battery cause a smoking rig plus one motor on plug-in? Got rid of the battery, I think. It shouldn't be able to, but good lord, anything's possible. Ready? Watch the roll. See how much more explosive this is? There's still some smoothness, but you see that, like... Ah! Yeah, this just has, it's got more jam there, yo. It's got more jam. Ah! Crash recovery doing its thing. I'm trying to chill. Oh my god. I'm trying to relax and let the fucking core temperature warning come down. But I have a hard time flying anything other than full tilt. Shitters! Now I gotta... Yeah, it's hard to just adjust and adjust and adjust and adjust and adjust and adjust. This is way... these two rigs are actually way more difficult... not difficult. Different than I thought they would be. Not quite there yet. See, the mega... Oh! The mega power loop is hard on all the rigs. This rig definitely does make it easier. Crash prevention flipped me right side up, and I went through the gate. Right side up. Farts. Oh! Do it the other way. Ah! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Everybody leave me alone. Oh my god, really? Come on now. Get the hell out of here. Wow. That was... Oh my god, I'm flying like a complete asshole right now. What is going on? Okay, that was me being really slow on the sticks. Man. Okay, hold on. Hold on, I'm having a hard time. Let's just chill for a second, Winston. Chill, Winston! This Weebly Cube is really fun, man. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Alright. Yeah. Yeah. What other differences are you guys seeing? You guys, what are you guys talking about in chat? You talking about this stuff, or are you talking about the meaning of life? Mr. Dr. Death says, Happymodel looks the same for me, but I guess through your goggles you see it. You see the difference more. It's more that, like, I can feel it, right? Like, I can feel what it does when I stab the throttle. It's really, really, really hard to convey this stuff through, especially through, like, a live stream setting, right? But yeah, there's a... Yeah. Yeah. Professor Biohazard says, you could power your wind tunnel with a second ELRS receiver on the same bind phrase, powering a bigger motor like a 5-inch. Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, last battery. I told you I'm not quite all the way better yet. Last battery on the Mobula 6 based rig. I've really gotten used to the less powerful newbie drone rig, and I can just feel myself overshooting a lot of stuff with this. Ah! Man, just instantaneousness of this is outrageous, and like for really crisp stuff like that, like what I just did, I think you really need something that's this sharp and that has this reaction time, like to do these like ultra acrobatic moves in these tiny little spaces. That response time really does help. If you can see through space and time, like Heads from Infinity Loops, he is like one of the best pilots on Earth right now. Maybe you can, maybe it's not as important, but if you're not significantly better than I am, it is going to make a difference for sure. I'm just telling it like it is. I don't have a reason to lie. I don't care what you fly. I just want you to fly the best possible thing. Holy shit, how did this get so janked up in there? Jesus. I had to pull that really hard to get it out of there. And it left some behind. Hold on, I can't. This is like really wound up here. Good Lord. Good Lord, what? How did this happen? Jeez. Oh shit, I should have unplugged it. Ugh. Cool off, little fella. Cool off. There it goes. Right away. Alright. No! Stop it! Let's just let it chill out for a second here, and there we go. All of that being said, a rig with this much power is hard to fly. So, for a lot of people, the Hummingbird with the 0702 29000s might be perfect for you. I would rather have a rig with more powerful motors and the PID sum up at 100%, and then motor limit them down so that on the throttle I have access to less power. Actually, you wouldn't want to motor limit that setup. You would want to throttle limit that setup. I don't know what happened there. It just fell out of the sky. That was weird. See, it's not just the Hummingbird that randomly falls out of the sky. It's just Tiny Whoop life. Yeah, I would rather have the the more powerful rig, just because with Tiny Whoops, like the issue that we have with Tiny Whoops is that they don't have enough power. Oh, it's fail-safing. Why are you fail-safing, little fella? Has your ceramic antenna broken off? I'll bet you it has. Let's take a look. Oh, seems okay. What the hell is it fail-safing for? Weird. Very weird. Yeah, no, the ceramic antenna is completely fine. That was twice that it fail-safed. Strange. Good old Happymodel quality. I can't even really say that, though, because their stuff has been really durable. Okay, we're going to fly the last 4 batteries on the Hummingbird. I want to put abuse through it, and I just want to spend more time with it and try to really really figure it out. I'm super impressed, though, man. $90. Good Lord. Bob Bruce says, looks like the up tilt is adjusting itself. Maybe not now. All right, yo, here we go. No, don't Stevie Wonder. All right, last few. Oh, it's fail-safing because my transmitter's battery is at 5.1 volts for a 2S. That's not gonna do anything well. There's your problem. Let me get this unplugged here. Shit sticks. Do I don't know if I have another transmitter battery. I mean, there's one that's on the charger now. I guess I can just sneak this one on here. And I'm just going to pull this one off. Alright. Should get us by for at least the end of the live stream. Okay, here we go. And plugged in. All right, friends. Last 4 batteries. There is a clear winner here tonight, and it's the in terms of just outright flight performance. And it's, you know, we knew what that was going to be, but in terms of getting a US based quad that you can almost completely plug and play, set up to fly this good, Newbie Drone wins here as well. Like they've built one hell of a little rig here. I'm so happy that this Hummingbird is as good as it is, because they're lighter, they're cheaper, and I mean, hell, the motors that it comes with are really good too. Those 0802 25,000s felt really nice. These 702s though, they're just a little bit more what I'm looking for. Lighter weight, more power. So yeah, let's put another couple batteries through this thing. I gotta switch my transmitter module again. All right, here we go. Let's finish strong. Hummingbird. Let's do some big stuff. Well, you know, let's go upstairs, see what's happening with the family. Whoa, this battery is not charged. This battery is hurt. That's what this battery is. This is a hurt battery, I think. Okay, let's try this again. Is this charger not charging the batteries properly? Let's see what this one... Whoa! Shit, it just caught on fire. Fuck! What was that? What the hell? What was that about? Oh, man. I was having a really good time flying this. Nothing changed. Oh, man. BT 2.0 lead is completely fine. My solder joints held. Oh, man. That sucks. Nothing changed. I took one battery off and plugged the next one in. Huh. Well, here's the end of that testing. Now it smells like fried electronics. Let's take it apart and we'll see if we can see what what component had smoke in it that it decided to release. Damn. Okay. Well, I was asking a lot more from it. You know, these motors are pulling more current. The BT 2.0 lead is passing more current. So yeah, I mean, we have significantly upgraded this AIO. So I guess maybe it was just too much. Maybe we were just asking too much of it. because nothing changed, right? Like, we went from one battery to the next. That battery was not fully charged. We put one on that was. I don't, damn. I don't know. All right, let's take a look. Hold on, I gotta get these motors unplugged. Damn, dude. I was having fun with this. Let's do a little post-mortem here. I think I can see where it got too hot. I think it's an ESC FET, but hold on. We'll have it out of here in a second. Okay, so what's going on, little fella? I mean, this is the risk that we run when we upgrade stuff, right? Like, manufacturers build things for a certain spec, for a certain power level, for a certain amp draw, and then we go and put on a higher performance connector, and we put on motors that are going to pull more, and this is potentially what can happen. So let's take a look together and see what we can see. Well, no, this is silly. Let me use the 5x loop here. I'll find the problem, and then I'll try to get you guys a view of the problem. Okay, so I think that was the issue. It looks like there's a component that is now missing. Looks like it's a capacitor. But let me just look around a little bit more. Yeah, so my soldering on the battery leads is completely fine. There's no chance that that was the issue here. There are... Oh, yeah, the FETs just... Like, so I'm seeing on the top here 8 FETs on the outside. Out of those 8 FETs, 3 on one side and 4 on the other side got so hot that they've got like holes burned into them, basically. And then on the bottom, yeah, on the bottom of the board, there is something else that's blown up down here. Oh boy. Wow, yeah. There's a bunch of stuff going on here. What my assumption is that one of these components let go, and then it the shit rolled downhill. Maybe it's a 5-volt regulator that went, and it passed like full voltage to the FETs or something like that, and then they cooked. That would be my guess here. But this component right here is cooked. See it here? Right there. See like the hole in the middle of it? Right? That looks like some sort of a regulator, a 5-volt or a 3.3-volt regulator. So my guess is that that went first, and then look at these FETs, yo. I think these are FETs on the outside here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at the damage on them. See the mark? 1, 2, 3. This one looks fine here, but these other 3 are hurting. There you go. And then on the other side here, same kind of scenario, but it's all 4 of them over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. They've got like spots in them where it looks like the smoke that they hold inside of them was released. And then we've got a missing, what I believe to be a capacitor here. I think it's supposed to be the same. It looks like it's the same size as this guy up here. See him? That looks like it's the same size, right? But he no more. He's also not on my desk. I don't know where it went. But yeah. Damn. Welcome to the game of upgrading, man. Cars are 10 times worse with this shit. You add a bunch of horsepower, and then the engine explodes, and instead of a $40, $50, $60 replacement AIO. It's a $4,000 or $5,000 replacement engine sometimes. Damn. Well, we might have the beginnings of an answer on durability when you upgrade it. So here's what I'll say. It flies really good out of the box. I'll betcha that you can get away with switching the motors, but think very carefully about switching the BT 2.0 lead over. The PH 2.0 lead very well could be adding enough resistance in to the point where you're not going to work the AIO too hard and blow it up like this. Or maybe not. Or maybe this was just a total one-off and this will never happen to another one. It's so hard to tell. But the known quantities are the BT... moving from PH 2.0 to BT 2.0 made a very noticeable difference. And that is just straight delivering more juice to the AIO. You know what I mean? Like, that... making that change is going to stress the AIO out more all the time. No questions asked. And there are other boards that can handle that. And I mean, what I'm thinking about now is it even worth it to change the motors over? I think it is worth it to change them. Well, here's what I'll say about if you buy one of these, whether or not you change the motors over. Buy the 0702 29,000 kV motors, try them out, and switch back and forth, and like bounce back and forth between 0802 25,000 and 702 29,000. You'll learn a lot about about the differences that motor weight make in feel, runtime. You know what I mean? Like, that's a really nice little exercise to kind of go through. But I would get it and just fly it the way that it is out of the box, because it's damn good right out of the box. And then if you want to start screwing around with it, and if you want a little bit less weight, a little bit more power, that's when you should get the 702 29,000s. But at the moment, I'm not going to recommend moving over to BT 2.0 because there's a definite chance that that has something to do with why this thing just cooked. Maybe it doesn't, but it certainly could. Let's look up what the FETs are rated for. You know what I'm saying? I bet you they're 5 amp FETs. And that's what the Happymodel boards have, and they hold up just fine. So, I mean, they're probably the exact same FETs as would be my guess. That's a total guess, though. They're not calling out, from what I can see, an amp rating. Wait. Maybe it'll be here. 12 amp! What? 12 amp FETs. Yeah, I mean, we were definitely not putting 12 amps through it. My guess now, knowing that those are 12 amp FETs, is that something else let go. A regulator let go. Something else daisy chained. Because you're not going to have all the FETs blow up like this. That's just not what happens. Let me see if I can get a number off of these. By the way, how does the mic sound when I'm sitting over here at the bench? Is it okay? Let me see if I can get a number off of these, what I believe to be FETs. Somebody type this into Google. EEW 2EAB. See what the hell that is. See if that's a FET. I bet you it is, because of how many of them there are. So that's Ernest, White, Man, they all blew up in the exact same spot, which is right where one of the numbers is. And then the second line is to Ernest Aaron Boy. EEW 2EAB. I bet you those are 12 amp FETs. Man, this thing is wrecked. Poor little baby Hummingbird V4. I'm looking for anything else that's blown up on the board now. Sorry for being completely silent. The little piece that blew up, I can't read what it says on it. Yeah, I can't read what it says on there. I'll let Newbie Drone. Oh, yeah. So there's more of those FETs on the bottom. There's 4 more of the... Yeah, so those are definitely the FETs because there's 3 per channel. So there's 4 more on the bottom, and they're all blown up on the bottom, too. All 4 of them. EEW 2UAA. Oh, they're different on the bottom. On the bottom, they're EEW 2UAA. They all cooked exactly where the 2 is. Well, that's weird. Why are they different on the bottom? That's interesting. Yeah, on the top, they're all EEW 2EAB. And there's 8 of them on top. And then there's the extra 3 on the bottom. There's 4 more on the bottom. So that's 12 total, 3 per channel. So yeah, those are the FETs. Interesting. Man, that's a shame. Brandon McBean says, what about Blue Jay 0.20? I've heard that it has burnt ESCs. Could be. I've had terrible luck on all of the Blue Jays after 0.16. I kind of wish that I had... if I get another one of these AIOs, I will be backdating it to Blue Jay 0.16. That's for damn sure. Trey Prelog says, do you think it was from adjusting the PID sum? It almost cannot be from that because it was not armed when it happened. I plugged the battery in, it went through its startup tones, and it immediately just caught on fire. So this is a chip just letting go somewhere. And like I say, I doubt that it was from... more and more now, I'm doubting that it was from putting too much juice into it. Although maybe if it, like, for example, if it was a regulator, maybe they used a smaller regulator that is rated for the exact amount of power that comes out of a nitro-injector gold through a pH 2.0 connector, right? And then when we put the BT 2.0 connector on there after a dozen batteries, that regulator just couldn't handle all that current draw from the less resistant BT 2.0 connector. So it could still totally be BT 2.0 related. I'll let them know. Hopefully they send me another one. I would love to spend some more time with it. I was having a blast. Let me get caught up on chat here. All hell's been breaking loose, and I've been all post-mortem-y. Mr. Dr. Death says... Oh, no, we got that. Where are we at here? Bruno Andriao, I'm just going to say Bruno A says hello, everyone. Poiter says, hope you're doing well. Loving all the Whoop streams. Thank you, brother. Curtis P says, I've been trying to catch you a while you're live for so long. I have a bunch of questions. We are kind of wrapping up at the moment, Curtis. I hope you can get to another stream. Although it's really a bunch of questions are going to be better for like a one-on-one session. You know, I'll usually like answer 1 or 2 questions for folks that are in the chat. yeah, if you've got a bunch of questions, I would love to do a one-on-one session for you, half an hour, whatever works for you. Over on, I didn't shill at all this live stream. I'm a bad live streamer. Bad live streamer. No. This is my full-time job, and I rely on support from beautiful people like you, all of you in the chat, to keep this ship afloat. Head on over to CiottiFPV.com for a million ways that you can support me. Patreon helps me out the absolute most. You can hop on board for as little as $3 a month, which equates to 7.5 cents per hour of these live streams. It makes a huge difference. It's literally the only reason that I can do this full time. So please, if you have a couple extra dollars, head on over to Patreon, sign up. If you can go from that initial $3 a month tier to the $5 a month tier, you can enter yourself into giveaways every single month. So that's a pretty good deal. If you win a giveaway, you're going to get $40, $50, $60 worth of stuff minimum. So it's like getting free Patreon all year. Yeah, lots of benefits. Great tech articles up on the Patreon page. A YouTube playlist with unreleased stuff, tons of it. 2 different Facebook groups, full access to the Discord. It's a really good deal. There's also an Etsy store and a Teespring store where you can buy yourself some cool stuff. There's a Fiverr page, which is where you can work one-on-one with me, or just message me on Instagram or Facebook, and we'll schedule a time. It's $40 for a half an hour, $60 for an hour. And yeah, if you've got a whole bunch of questions, we can talk through all of them, or I can drive the session to get you building better, flying better, or tuning better. So yeah, take advantage of somebody with a million years of knowledge so that you get the right answers rather than going on Facebook and getting all the wrong answers. Blizzard FPV with a $10 Canadian Californian super chat. He says, thanks for smoking electronics in the name of mad science. You're certainly welcome, brother. Brandon's Bean says, oh my god, wow, those fets hate you. Bruno says, vaporized, indeed. Hockey Rounds with a $10 super chat. He says, let's buy another. As soon as they're available, I will be getting another, although maybe maybe Newbie Drone will send me a replacement. I'll try that first. Trey Pulog with a really good question. Do you think it was from adjusting the PID sum? You know, come to think of it, technically, sure, it could be from adjusting the PID sum. I still doubt it. But technically speaking, from adjusting the PID sum, maybe that overworked all of the FETs. I cannot possibly imagine that all of the FETs got overworked at the exact same rate other than just that one, and they all let go at once. That seems completely insane to me, but you never know. I super doubt it, though. Because adjusting the PID sum up to 100% is the same thing as going 100% throttle. So yes, it uses 100% throttle more often with the PID sum cranked all the way up, but you know, we lay into the throttle a good amount, so it just doesn't. I just don't think that I've never had an issue raising the PID sum up to 100. I'll put it that way. Brains Make Beans again says, what about Blue Jay 0.20? I've heard that it's burnt ESCs. Could be. I don't think so, but could be. Jason Black says, everyone, what is the storage voltage for 2S LIHV 3.85 times 2? Did anybody look up those names and numbers on the FETs? Ramdago says, what's the board weigh? Now it's more modified, roughly. I'll give you an exact number. It does have the grommets in it, though. This is with a shortened up BT 2.0 lead and the rubber grommets, which are still in it because, you know, you're going to put those in the AIO anyway. It is 4.7 grams. 4.8 grams. That's pretty light. 4.8 grams is pretty light. And it's extra light now that it's released all the smoke that was stored up inside. Or maybe the smoke is made of helium and it's actually lighter than air. And then maybe it's heavier now. Hockey Round says the motor beacon did it. Quad City Bay Area with a $2 super chat. He says, I built 6 5-inch and 3 3-inch. My first 85 millimeters was a fail. Yeah, the small rigs can very easily be a fail. Stick with it. You'll get there. Curtis Preston says, have you flown the Rotor Riot BBs? Are they too heaven? I've not flown them, but looking at the specs, they're too heavy. I'm assuming that's what you meant to type there. Yeah, they're okay. I love that they're made by RC and Power, but they're a little heavy. And also the 802s are more for 75 millimeter rigs, and I want those to have a 1.5 millimeter motor shaft, which the BBs don't. So yeah, I don't really have much interest in those motors. Ramdongo says the cap that fell off. Yes. I don't know where it is. I mean, I was holding it here over the desk. Is it on the ground somewhere? If it is, I'll never find it. It's absolutely tiny. Yeah, I don't feel it in the carpet, but I'm not gonna feel it in the carpet. Matty ORC says my VTX on my Acroby statics out when I arm and fly. Then if I disarm, it comes back. Sometimes now won't even show a video or lock onto a channel. Unfortunately, with AIOs that have VTXs built in, they either work or they don't, as long as your VTX table is correct. So unless you've screwed something up in the VTX table, the VTX is just dying. It's happened to me a bunch. It sucks. You know, AIOs are not good because if anything breaks, you have to throw the whole damn thing away. On a tiny whoop, you know, we're forced to use AIOs, but that right there is one of the things that I hate most about AIOs. Curtis Preston says, you're right, your content has definitely been worth it. Join the Patreon. Thank you for what you do. Thank you, brother, for the support. I literally could not do this without people like you that are willing to spend a couple of bucks. Ramdango says, if the big cap fell off during flight crash and started to cook, totally. Yeah, if a component falls off, that could be the end. It wasn't really a crash, like I just kind of landed it on the table, so I don't know. That was very, very, very weird. Very, very weird. Quad City Bay Area with a $2 super chat. He says, need advice, Meteor 85 or Mobula 8 Walksnail. I don't really know anything about either one of them. I don't have either one of them. I've never flown either one of them. So I'm probably not the right guy to ask about it, but I would my main answer to that question is going to be to watch Nick Burns' reviews. He is hands down the best reviewer by a mile of micros. So watch his reviews, maybe post a comment or two. He reads them all. He'll almost certainly get back to you. There's probably a different audience. There's usually not like this one is better than that one. Sometimes, but usually there's like a person that one is right for, and there's a person that the other one is right for. And Nick is pretty good about talking about that kind of stuff. So I would really pay attention to that for sure. The main thing that I'm interested in is the motor selection. So it looks like the Mobula 8 has 1103, 11,000 kV motors, so it must be 2S. Yeah, 1S, 2S, although it's just not going to work on 1S with those low-S kV motors. So the Mobula 8 is 2S, which I don't love. The Meteor 85 is... Although, wait, no, this is an 85 rig, so it's 2-inch props. So, yeah, 2S actually makes a lot of sense here. The Meteor 85 has 1103, 11,000 kV motors. Yeah... There's not like some... I'm not like seeing anything in the specs that makes me go like, definitely don't get this one. So yeah, I'm not even gonna give you an answer because it's just gonna be me throwing a dart and it's not gonna do any good for you. So yeah, watch a bunch of reviews on either one and try to get a feeling for who each one is better for. Although, man, they're so close in specs that I don't actually know if one's going to be better for one type of person and the other's going to be better. But yeah, watch Nick's reviews and hopefully you can kind of get a feeling. I just, you know, I I don't give advice on stuff that I know nothing about or haven't flown. It's just not cool to do that, because then you're just throwing a dart. And like, when I say something, it carries a little bit more weight than just some rando on the internet, right? So I really do my best to not give bad info out on the internet, because the internet is forever. You know that. Now I'm wondering if this battery was even dead. No. So this battery that I had on there, that seemed like it was dead, that I took off and plugged the other battery in, is coming up at 4.27. 4.26. So whatever happened to it happened when I plugged this battery in and I put it down and I took it off, and it was all saggy and horrible, and came up and landed it on the desk. So I don't know what that means. Quad City Bay Area says, I'm assuming Happymodel is more reliable. Nah, you really can't make that assumption. Neither Happymodel nor Beta FPV have an incredible reputation for reliability. With both of those companies, it's you're rolling the dice. So yeah, you can't really make the decision based on reliability. Both of those companies have the potential to make completely unreliable products, and they have in the past. So Curtis P says, you obviously like cars, but I can't seem to figure out what you drive at the moment. I have a a 2014 Mazda 2 and a 99 Miata. I said a very painful goodbye to a 96 Mustang Cobra convertible when I lived in Charleston. I missed the shit out of that car. Yeah. Look at that. It's 8 o'clock. Thanks for hanging, friends. Wow. I did not expect this. That's for damn sure. I guess I can maybe edit the stream title. Nah, I'll leave it alone. I'll leave the stream title. I'm not going to be all clickbaity and add like Hummingbird V4 explodes live on stream to the stream title. That's not great. I'm going to see if I can get a replacement though, because I want to spend a little bit more time with it. I'm in love with a US based company making a good tiny whoop, and I've been very impressed with the Hummingbird. So thank you, friends. Head on over to CiottiFPV.com. Click a bunch of buttons. It'll help me out. I also have a ton of affiliate links over there. So if you're doing an order for FPV stuff or anything on Amazon, try to remember to hit my affiliate link before you check out. Or just replace your bookmarks with my affiliate links or whatever. And yeah, it's free money, yo. Help a brother out. I'll see you on Friday at 7 o'clock. Here comes some more Flying from Rampage with a 3-inch rig, a 4S 3-inch rig. This is, what flight line is this? This is the Nook. No, it's not. This is in a field. Hold on. I should have some more flying from the Nook. Why am I like halfway through a battery? What in the world? Hold up. Hold up. There we go. All right, people. I'll see you on Friday. Thanks for hanging. This footage is a little dark, but be all right. Let me get some music for you real quick. Oh, boy. What a thing. This song's called Yuck. Oh, no, yeah, it is Yuck. Vanilla Bean. Yeah. This song was on the other day. I dig this song. Here you guys go. This will make my flying seem even smoother. Be good, friends. I'll see you Friday. Thanks for hanging.